Now in previous lecture we have seen interfacing of DAC, nothing but digital to analog converter, and also we have seen interfacing of ADC, analog to digital converter, both DAC and ADC with your 8085 microprocessor, right? Now in previous lecture we have seen the interfacing part of your ADC and DAC, nothing but analog to digital converter and digital to analog converter in with 8085 microprocessor, right? Now in this lecture we will see the interfacing of 8085 with timer and counter, right? You have an IC, right? One IC, one pin, one device whose number is 8253, right? You have one device. Now that will act as timer as well as counter, right? Now in this lecture we will see the interfacing of 8085 with timer or counter, right? Only one device that can be used for the operation of timer as well as counter, right? What is timer, what is counter, we have seen under the microcontroller, that is basic microcontroller under 8051, right? Now timer, it will provide the delay by counting number of events, right? Timer, it will provide the delay by counting number of events. Now counter is used to count the external events, right? Now these two operations can be performed by a single device, that we call it as programmable interval time, right? That we call it as programmable interval timer, whose pin number is 8253, right? Now in this lecture we will see the interfacing of 8085 with timer or counter, that is 8253, pin number is 8253. Now this we call it as programmable interval timer. 8253 we call it as programmable interval timer, right? This 8253, now we are interfacing. Now in this lecture we will see the interfacing of 8253 with 8085. Now 8253 is nothing but programmable interval timer. Now this will act as both timer as well as counter. Now what is timer, what is counter, we have seen under the 8051 microcontroller, right? Now this is the architecture of 8253, right? This is the architecture of 8253. Now this is similar to 8255 only. What is 8255? General purpose IO device, right? Now this is similar to 8255 only the difference is there you have IO ports here. Under 8255 you have IO ports here, but here you are having counters or timers, right? Which is used to count the external events, or which is used to produce the delay by counting, right? Now here you have 8-bit data bus buffer. D0 to D7 is the 8-bit data bus buffer. Now 8-bit data can be read or written to the microprocessor, right? Now D0 to D7 is the 8-bit data bus, right? Now this is used to transfer 8-bit data either for read operation or for write operation, right? Now coming to read or write control logic, right? Now here you have read signal, right? Now this is an active low signal. Since you have bar over the read, now this is an active low signal. Now this is used to read the data, right? Next we have write signal for writing the data, and this is also active low signal because you have bar over there. And next we have address lines A1, A0, right? Next you have same like your 8255 only the difference is there you observe IO ports, 3 IO ports, but here you will observe 3 timers or counters, right? And next you have chip selection. A1, A0 are the address lines. After that you have chip selection. Now this is also active low signal, right? Now this indicates, for logic 0, it indicates 8253 is ready for communication with the 8085. That means that particular device is ready for the communication, right? Now here the device is 8253. Now chip selection indicates that 8253 is ready for communication with the microprocessor, that is 8085, right? Now here you have control word register, right? Control word register. Here you have control word register. Now all these are connected to internal bus, right? All these are connected to internal data bus. Now these are again connected to, now this act as an interface between this thing and this thing, right? Now here you have 3 counters, counter 0, counter 1 and counter 3. Now for every counter you have 2 input pins and 1 output pins, right? For every counter right? I have not represented here, that's why I am again representing here. Now for every counter you have 2 input pins and 1 output pin, right? Now clock signal and gate pin are the input pins of a particular counter and out through which you are collecting the output, right? Now clock signal is provided at this particular pin, and gate you have next gate, which is an input pin to the counter, and through this you are collecting the output of particular counter. Now this is everything same for your counter 1 and counter 2, right? Now this is the architecture of programmable interval timer. Now this interval timer, that is programmable interval timer, you have to interface with 8085, right? Nothing but a basic microprocessor, right? Now let me briefly explain its architecture. Now it contains 8-bit data bus 8253, which is nothing but programmable interval timer, right? Now here it will do 2 operations, right? It will do the operation of timer and also it will do the operation of counter, right? Now coming to the interfacing of 8085 with timer or counter, right? Now the timer or counter available with the pin number 8253, which we call it as programmable interval timer, right? Now this has 3 counters, counter 0, counter 1 and counter 2, right? 8253, which we call it as programmable interval timer or counter, which has 3 counters, counter 0, counter 1 and counter 2, right? Now what is timer? It will provide the delay by counting, right? Timer will provide the delay by counting the events, and counter will count the external event. That is the difference between timer and counter, right? Now 8253, here we have 8-bit data bus. 8253 has 8-bit data bus, that is D0 to D7, same like your 8085. Now this is a bidirectional data bus. Either you can read the data or you can write the data, that's why it is bidirectional, right? 8253, which is nothing but programmable interval timer, has an 8-bit data bus through which you can read the data or you can write the data, right? Now coming to read and control logic, here you have 5 signals. Now the first signal is read signal, through which you can read the data, and next you have write signal, through which you can write the data, and next you have chip selection. Now when it is all this read signal, write signal and chip selection are active low signals, right? Active low signals, that means those will be operative for logic 0, right? Now chip selection will give the information whether the 8253 is ready for communication with the processor or not. When it is logic 0, chip selection is logic 0, it indicates 8253 is ready for communication. When it is 1, that is chip selection is 1, it is not ready for communication with the microprocessor, right? Now you have next you have control word register, which is an 8-bit register. Control word register, which is an 8-bit register, and all these are connected to the internal data bus, and again the internal data bus are connected to the 3 counters, counter 0, counter 1 and counter 2. Now the control word register has a connection to every counter, right? Now this is connection of control word register to every counter, right? Now the counter, it is used to count the number of values. For timer, it will provide the delay by counting the events, and for counter it will count the external events, right? Now for all these 3 counters you have 3 pins. What are those? Clock, gate and out, right? Now the clock signal is provided the clock pin, and next you have gate, which is an input pin, and next you have out, through which you will collect the output of a particular counter. These 3 are same for all these 3 counters. For counter 1 also you have clock signal, through which you are providing the clock. Here also you have clock signal is provided at this pin, and next you have next input pin, those are gates, and next you have output pins, through which the output is collected, through which the output is collected for a particular count, right? Now this is about the architecture of timer, that is 8253, right? Architecture of timer, that is 8253, right? Now this timer you have to interface with 8085, right? This timer you have to interface with 8085. Now to operate a counter, a 16-bit count is loaded into its register, right? All these 3 counters are 16-bit. Now in order to operate that, right? Now here you have a counter, right? Here you have a counter. Now in order to start operating of this particular counter, a 16-bit count value is loaded into the register, right? A 16-bit count value is loaded into the register. Now on instruction, right? Now after that they will give, user will give the instruction. Now on instruction it begins to decrease the count value till it becomes 0, right? It begins to decrease the count value till it becomes 0, right? Now this is how the counter will operate. First a 16-bit count value, right? First a 16-bit count value is loaded into the counter, right? Now the counter will do its operation till the count value becomes 0, right? Now the same like your timer operation only, right? Same here like your, now this you will have a clear idea while going into the programming part, right? That is not required. Now meanwhile you remember the architecture, right? It has 3 counters: data bus, buffer, read or write control logic, and the control word register, right? Now this timer 8253 you have to interface with 8084. Now how you will operate this counter? A 16-bit count value is loaded into the register of counter, right? Now after that user will give the instruction, right? That means it will give a command that in order to start the count, right? Now upon giving the command, now the counter will, upon giving the command, the counter will decrement the, it begins to decrement the count until it reaches 0, right? Now first a 16-bit value is loaded into the counter. Next instruction is given. Now what counter will do? A counter will decrement the count till it becomes 0. That is the actual operation of count, right? Now that is about your 8253 timer or counter, right? Now let us interface 8085. Now first let me draw the 8085 pin diagram, right? 8085 pin diagram with 8253. 8085 pin diagram with 8253, right? Which is nothing but, which will act as timer or counter, right? Now here how many counters you have? 3 counters. Counter 0, right? And counter 1 and counter 2, right? Now for every counter you have clock signal, input signal, and you have gate which is an input signal, and next you have out through which the output of a counter is collected, right? Now similarly for counter 1 and counter 2, again I am representing here clock, gate as well as out. 2 input pins, those are clock signal and gate signal, and 1 output pin, that is out, through which the output of a particular counter is selected, collected, right? Now this is, next we have D0 to D7, right? D0 to D7, which is nothing but data bus buffer, right? Which is nothing but data bus buffer. Next you have read signal, next you have write signal, next you have A1, next you have A0, and next you have chip selection, right? Just the architecture of timer or the counter is represented in the pin diagram, right? Now 8253 I have represented here, right? Now 8253 is nothing but, it will act as timer or counter. What is timer? It will provide the delay, right? That means 8253 will provide the delay by, it will provide the delay by counting, right? 8253 will provide the delay by counting. As I have said, a 16-bit count is loaded into this counter register. Now upon giving the instruction, the counter begins to decrement that count value, whatever the value that is loaded into the register, till it becomes 0. That is the actual process of 825. Now coming to counter part, it will count the number of external events, right? Now this is the actual process of 8253. Next you have to represent 8085. Now D0 to D7, right? Demultiplexed address and data bus, that is D0 to D7. And next you have IO/memory bar, right? IO/memory bar. Now here next you have A1 and A0. Only these pins are required for interfacing. Now D0 to D7 are connected to, D0 to D7 of 8085 is connected to D0 to D7 of 8253, right? And next you have read signal, right? Next you have, sorry I have forgotten read signal, and next you have write signal, right? Next you have A1, A0. Only these are sufficient for interfacing of 8085 with 8253. Now IO signal is 1, right, because 8253 is an IO device, right. Now this is 1. Now the read signal should be logic 0, right, should be logic 0. Now this is 1, right. IO slash memory bar should be 1 because you are treating this particular 8253, as a IO device, right. Now this is active high. Now read bar should be 0, right. For that particular thing this should be inverted. Now these two are 1 and 0, right. Now when 1 and 0, if I AND gate, what you will get? 0 only, right, 0 only. If I AND gate the signal, I will get 0, right. Now 0 is connected to read part, right. Now the similarly IO with write AND gated connected to write signal. Now A1 of 8085 is connected to A1 of 8253, right. Now A0 of 8085 is connected to A0 of 8253, right. Now how many in IO mapped IO, how many address lines are used? 8 address lines, right. 2 are completed here. Now the remaining A2, A3, A4, A5, A6, A7, right. Now all these are active high, right. All these are A4, A5, A6, A7, right. Now all these are active high. Now AND gated, right. 1 with 1 is 1, NAND gated, right, because chip selection should be 0 in order to operate, right. Now this is the interfacing of 8085 with 8253, right. Now let me briefly explain again. Now here also you have one table, chip selection A1, A0. When all are 0, now what is CS? When CS bar is 0, what it indicates? 8253 is ready for communication with the 8085 microprocessor, right. Now when A1 is 0, A0 is 0, right. When A1 is 0, A0 is 0. Now counter 0 is selected, right. Counter 0 is selected. Now for 001, counter 1 is selected. Now for 010, counter 2 is selected. Now for 011, right, for 011, now for 011, control word register is selected, right. The same thing, IO port 0, IO port 1, IO port 2, control word register, same as under your 8255. Here also same thing, right. Among the 3 counters available, right, we have 3 counters available for your 8253. Now among that 3 counters we can use only one based on the values of CS bar A1 and A0, right, based on the values of CS bar A1 and A0, right. Now this is how to interface your 8085 with 8253, right. I will give the interfacing part, right. Now same like your 8255 only the difference is counter 0, counter 1 and counter 2, right. Now this is IO mapped IO because we can't treat 8253 as one of the memory location. That's why we have to interface 8085 with 8253 under IO mapped IO. I will give one problem, then you will I will give one problem as assignment, then you will have a clear idea of it, right. Now let me briefly explain again. Now coming to the interfacing of 8085 with 8253. Now the architecture I have represented in the pin diagram. It has 3 counters, counter 0, counter 1 and counter 2, right. Now for every counter it has 2 input pins and 1 output pin, right. Now what are the 2 input pins? Clock, through which the clock signal is provided. Next input pin is gate, and next you have output pin out, through which the output of a particular counter is collected, right. Now these are same for counter 1 and counter 2. Clock signal is provided at this pin. Next you have input pin as gate, and next you have output is collected through this out, right. Now the similar thing with your counter, right. And next you have data bus buffer, right. 8253 has 8-bit data bus through which the 8-bit data can be used for reading purpose or for writing purpose, right. Next you have read signal, next you have write signal, next you have address lines A1, A0, next you have chip selection, right. Now coming to 8085, Now data bus buffer, demultiplexed address and data bus, right, based on the ALE value, right. Now the demultiplexed address and data bus, that is D0 to D7, and next you have IO/memory bar, and next you have read signal, write signal, next you have A1, A0, right, and the remaining address lines are used for chip selection, right. Remaining address lines are used for chip selection, right. You can use A0 like your 8255 also, right. You can use A0 here, and A2 is connected to A1 and A1 is connected to A3, and remaining address lines can be used for chip selection. You can follow that also, but not mandatory that you have to follow that scenario only, right. You can use anything, only the purpose is we have to read the data or we have to write the data, right. Now D0 to D7 of 8085 is connected to D0 to D7 of 8253, right. Next we have IO/memory bar. When it is logic 1, it indicates IO mapped IO. When it is logic 0, it indicates memory mapped IO. Memory mapped IO, right. Now here 8253 can be treated as IO device only. We can't treat 8253 as one of the memory location because a particular device is available externally, right. Now you have to map 8085 with 8253 under IO mapped IO. Now this is logic 1, that's why it is logic 1, right. Now read signal, right. In order to read the data, that should be logic 0. Initially it is 1, inverted it is 0. Now 1 with 0, if I do AND operation, you'll get 0, right. Now it can read the data since it is an active low signal. Now the same thing for write. IO is active high and read signal is inverted and gated and connected to write signal, right. Now A1 of 8085 is connected to A1 of 8253 and A0 of 8085 is connected to A0 of 8253, right. Now these two are used for selection of counters, right. These two are used for selection of counter along with chip selection pin, right, along with chip selection pin. Now the remaining address line starting from A2, A3, A4, A5, A6, A7. Since it is an IO mapped IO, we can use only 8 address lines. 2 are completed here and the remaining address lines are used for chip selection. Now let us, I am assuming, right, all these are active high. Now 1 with 1 and gate, if I do AND operation, if I do, you'll get logic 1 only. That's why it is NAND gated and connected to, since it is an active low, this should be logic 0 in order to indicate that 8253 is ready for communication with the 8085. That's why NAND operation connected to CS, right. Now when as I have said, A1, A0 are used for counter selection, right, along with chip selection, right. Now when CS bar is 0, A1, A0 are 0. Now the counter 0 is selected, right. Now for 001 counter 1 is selected, for 010 counter 2 is selected, now for 011 control word register is selected, right. Now this is the interfacing of timer and counter, nothing but 8253, which we call it as programmable interval timer, right. 8253 with your 8085 under IO mapped IO. We can't interface this with as memory mapped IO because it is an IO device. We can't treat it as a memory location, right. Now this is interfacing of 8253 with 8085. Now here ends your third unit completely. In the next lecture we will see the synchronous communication and asynchronous communication, right. Thank you.